You look a hot mess. Okay.
Saying
Oh, girl,
much,
you look a
despite how her
mess.
page
I see you. You see me. That's like Casino Shop and Positive. Yo, I'm Anonymous Beanie Man, and I'm for short. We're about to watch this video by Jordan Jason. Wait, Justin Jordan about the Ice Age baby having a race problem. I've seen her as the Ice Age baby a couple times, but I mainly seen her as like the Renaissance lady, looking crazy as fuck, girl, looking real racist. I don't know why she owned up to that. Looking like she's just ready for a black person to come take her hand in servitude and make her look more important. Girl, I don't know why you thought that look was the look to go. No, absolutely not. I know everybody wasn't racist from that time period, but girl, everything's a choice. And then she got these bum ass, what is this, breed on fire, pulling back your hairline. I need y'all to see this. Girl, I know you lying. That's the plan. Watch it shoot me, y'all. Hold on. Fix my quality. Girl, you eating up my quality. My quality can't even pick up all this forehead. Oh God.
I'm not cutesy. I'm not demure.
You fucking up my Wi-Fi bitrate with this forehead.
I'm not cutesy. I'm not demure. I'm an unhinged feral fucking raccoon right now.
have you seen have you seen this video? And we are gone. My bones, they are gone.
Why is she a pilgrim?
If so, you may be entitled to compensation. But seriously, if you saw this video on your For You page, you probably had some sort of curiosity around why people hate this person so much. Not been doing well since the cancellation, I see. Our little racist. This comment has over 100,000 likes. But if you were confused about that reaction, I'm actually here to tell you why people are mad. On November 7th, 2025, Meta AI would announce a collab with a new creator, Alana O'Brien, an influencer known for her medieval look. An influencer who owed a great deal of her newfound fame and online celebrity.
Medieval? That's what it is? What I say, Renaissance? See, look, that's how you know I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
To the hardworking human artist who dedicated hours to making fan art of her, that she would often post on her page, repost on her page, encourage other people to make. We teamed up with Alana to transform her into a Renaissance painting using Meta AI. Want to see yourself as a masterpiece? Try it now on the Meta AI app. The backlash was very swift and artists began demolishing her. How could she turn her back on the very community that she used to build her fame? How could she associate herself with the very tool that was now being used to replace beautiful art with AI slop and taking jobs away from artists? And like the internet does when someone gets into a controversy online, people began to look into Alana's past, and let's just say they found things that are very much less than savory.
Oh, they overlapped, so I wasn't that far off. Oh.
What if I told you that Alana allegedly did blackface, that she was liking racist reels on her public... What if I told you that Alana allegedly did blackface, that she was liking racist reels on her public Instagram page, liking blatantly and openly racist comments under her posts, and the cherry on top of this racist pie is the fact that she's multiple videos where she's just flaunting her new box braids? Well, if I were to tell you that, that would actually be the truth, because that's what Alana did. And we have a lot of evidence for this online. Today, I do also hope to go beyond Alana to talk about the uptick in racism and racist attitudes, how they've really been normal.
Thanks to Trump. Thank you. Hey, so political people, don't keep them around me. Don't keep them close to me. I'm not registered to vote. Will never be registered to vote. If you want to register to vote, go ahead and do that. I don't give a fuck how you feel. I don't give a fuck. People love to throw a little shady shit like, oh, there's people out there that aren't even registered to vote, and this world is like this because there's so many people who think they don't have power. There's so many people that have the illusion of power and are powerless every day because they fall into the anarchical society. Everyone's victim to the fucking government at this point. So I don't want to hear your bullshit because there's enough people that are registered to vote that fucked up the trajectory for everybody else, including me. And I wasn't even in the conversation. So let's focus on the people who are slow enough to be able to fuck up my life. Let's focus on that. One, B. Letter number B. Why why does she think she looks good at all? And second, why does she think she looks good enough to pull off black hairstyles? This is such a surface level thing for me to say because, you know, I'm a surface level bitch. But girl, you don't look good. You look a hot mess, okay? No, you make my skin crawl, okay? Um, let's figure out why your mama jumped up and down while drinking Casamigos.
Normalized and even made into legitimate political positions. How
Did
the
she slip down the stairs? Oh, girl. Ooh, 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 ooh,
internet
ooh,
thinks
ooh,
it's
ooh.
okay to be awful to a person because they're problematic, and I think really just
You know, I don't agree with that because that was crazy. But what I'm doing is also lame as fuck. And yeah, you can argue I'm just as bad as everyone else. And that this, I guess you can say my karma is gonna come back and get me because I'm also doing the same thing everybody else is doing. And to that I say, I don't give a goddamn. Life is already hard. Is if it gets any harder, it's just gonna be a dig in my ass.
the awful ways that this situation has really showed to me that people online are continuing to excuse literal and blatant racism literally in their face. Without any further ado, let's get right into the trials and tribulations of Alana. And if you do like this content or feel bad that I had to scroll for hours to look for this Instagram story that no one seems to be able to find online, be sure to subscribe. Chapter 1. Who is Alana? Well, Alana is a unique individual.
A
Many people have
trifling
gone
hope.
online actually claiming to be classmates of Alana, saying that she was quiet, reserved, not really doing a lot in class. She grew up in a small town in Australia, which is a very white country. This will make sense later, I think, because
Aboriginal. I was gonna call her an aboriginal.
in Australia, which is a very white country. This will make sense later, I think, because it
Good thing I didn't.
kind of does explain a little bit of maybe how she gained these attitudes, how in
I was gonna call her an aboriginal like a slur. You see, like I'm getting canceled one day.
those formative
It's
years
not
of her
even
life,
funny.
maybe she wasn't really exposed to different attitudes, different opinions, different people, different cultures. But in regards to her social media,
How can you say she wasn't exposed to different cultures if she's wearing fucking box braids, dude?
Alana is very much a child of the 2020s. Her page really fits that box of curated aesthetic content that doesn't really say
Oh, girl,
much.
you look a
Despite how her
mess.
page looks now, in 2021 her page looked much different. It was a collection of her thoughts, a view into the life of a person who was passionate about clothes.
See, she looks cuter here. I'm not gonna lie. She looks cuter here. What happened? Frolicking in the fields looking happy. Still kind of looking a mess, but yeah, looking happy. You looked better here.
A person who was maybe more quiet in class, who
Yes,
wanted to show some more of
yes.
that personality online. But slowly, over time, that content would begin to change, as Alana went from someone who posts themselves frolicking on a field to a creator who really showed her audience the curated, the polished, the more set
I
up
want to go there. That looks fun. There's probably hella bugs there, though. Are there ticks? I don't like
parts
ticks.
of her life. It would be those curated posts that really blew her up. One of
She's doing her makeup to make her rosacea flare up. Like, girl, you look a goddamn mess. Golly, this matted hair. No, no. What did you do? Put it in a vacuum cleaner to get it curled up? Absolutely. She probably used that stick she's holding to twist and curl it up like a goddamn ribbon. No,
the
no.
things that I think played a
Oh my gosh, she looks like Meredith. Is that who she's trying to be? Cause girl, it was very brave of you to get on camera.
big role into
Very
her growing up was
brave.
how different
She is Meredith. She is Meredith. Oh my god. You know, when I get a platform and people use all these videos against me, however they use them, or whatever creator comes after me, however they come after me, I just want you guys to know I won't give a damn because it's not going to be real to me. It's not going to be real because I decided to get on the camera. I decided to talk shit. I decided to do all of this to advance my little ass platform. I decided to do this. I don't have to sit here and talk like this. I don't have to sit here and be like this, but I'm choosing to. Just how she chose to slap herself in the face a few times, get this bootsy ass stick off a tree. Girl, you wasting all the O2 that we could have got out of that shit for a bum ass TikTok. A bum ass TikTok. You couldn't make a string out of a leaf or something. Like, it's so low effort. Like your granny moo like JC Penny ass belt.
she really was from a lot of what's been viral on Instagram.
No,
I do feel
no,
like the
no.
novelty of someone whose entire thing is being
Looking ass.
medieval in a world that is so focused on more
Ooh.
modern, contemporary fashion, it was unique. It was a fresh breath of air online, and it drew a lot of people to her. It was really, in my opinion, that fan art that gave her that real foothold in the art community, that gave her a bigger fan base. Artists would literally, on their own individual pages, post videos of them making fan art for her, spreading the word about her unique fashion, spreading the word about her unique look.
And yes, I'm only saying all this because she's racist. I probably would keep all of this in
and it was working. Her audience was literally doubling, tripling in 2025. And then that AI collab happened, and those allegations would come out to haunt her. In many ways, I do feel like the deep allegations of racism against Alana have kind of been buried
How are these allegations? What is alleged about this? I'm looking at it. I'm seeing the evidence in court.
beneath a more accessible conversation
Oh my
about the use of
God.
AI and the general harms of
They're
AI.
stiff at the top. Girl,
One of the things that I really hope to touch on
you
in
need to put that in some water. I don't even think water gonna help. Does she have hair braided in there? Or is her hair so like, I don't know. I don't know what you call it, because I have 4C hair, boo. This hairstyle would work well on me than it would. By the way, do you guys think I would look good in boho? Cis locks, angel locks? What? I want to wear long hair and I want to wear a wig, but like, I don't want to look a mess.
this video is the connection between
I was gonna be shady, but I'm not gonna be
things
shady.
like racism, between environmental issues, between Zionism and anti-Palestinian rhetoric. I mean, like, all of these things are connected in a way that is so interesting to me. I just feel like, in many ways, Alana is a person who just doesn't care
It's
about
so
things outside
thin.
of herself and has a hard
And
time
stiff.
putting herself in the shoes of other people. Chapter 2, the racism. One of the first things that I want to show you is a comment liked by Alana. It was under this post. It's a chill enough post of Alana doing what she does a lot, right? Asking her audience for help, utilizing her audience for opportunities and things like modeling. But under the TikTok, which shows her right next to actual Vogue finalist Rayon, who's a mixed woman, specifically the Instagram version of this post liked a comment that said the following, quote, "White girls will always be better looking." And as you can see, add a comment for Alana. It's on Alana's page and it says liked by author. My first thought is, why would you even like that comment? There is some sort of intentionality behind liking a comment, or it's either intentionality or carelessness. Either
And she thinks, and it's crazy because her liking that means she thinks she looks better than this woman. The shit on toilet paper after I wipe my ass looks way better than yo punk ass in this Renaissance getup. Don't you ever.
you're just scrolling and blindly liking comments. But regardless, there is some time that you could have taken to take a second to read the actual content.
Oh
that
my
this person
God, she looks like Chaperone on heroin.
writing, and maybe say, I don't really want to associate myself. Maybe I should delete that comment instead of just liking it. Many people have argued that, oh, maybe she didn't see it, or this one just slipped through the cracks. That amongst other comments, she accidentally liked this one. But I just can't, though, because it seems like every time a black person does something, every time we model, every time we act, every time we do literally anything, there's always going to be a white person in our comments talking about this white person does it better. I'm very much an impact over intention type of person. If you do something by mistake, that's fine. I'm not going to hold that against you. But if that thing that you did as a mistake still has an impact on somebody else, I do think that that impact that it has kind of wins out over that intention. You can say sorry as many times as you want, but I'm still going to acknowledge the fact that there was some harm caused by this action. Instead of taking responsibility or apologizing or saying that she didn't see it or anything like that, she actually tried to lie about it once she was called out.
And it's crazy because I'm being harmful by acting like this, and then there's people that look like her that didn't do shit and are catching strays. So sorry if you look like her, but don't be like her. You're better than her. I'd probably eat your butt.
said the following, "There was only one screenshot I saw. I think I would genuinely remember liking a strong comment like this. Take notice how the screenshot is circling covering 17 hours ago. I never saw or liked a comment about that and never would. Also, I cannot find that comment on the post, and I always reply to all comments I see in the post to boost in hopes of Vogue seeing. Notice, no reply. It was fake and edited." Basically, what she's trying to say is that she replies to every single comment, which is kind of a ridiculous notion given the fact that she's a person who has millions of followers between multiple platforms. She couldn't even acknowledge that maybe it was a mistake, maybe that she didn't see that comment. No, the immediate denial puts me off a little bit, but there's even more proof that this wasn't a fake screenshot.
And
or
the
that
fact that she came out and said anything about it, could have ignored it. You could have ignored it.
if it was a fake screenshot, this would take quite a bit of effort that is probably not going to be taken by this person on Instagram who's literally just doing a thread kind of exposing you. So let's look at those. It says, "Now Alana girl, why are
No,
you
if
lying?"
they're doing a thread to expose her, I'm actually more inclined to believe that they could fake some things to all round the evidence, but, you know, whatever.
Screenshot 1 says 17 hours ago. It was from when the post was originally posted. This isn't my screenshot. It was sent to me by someone who wishes to remain anonymous. But here's the full screenshot with other comments that are still up on the post, stated 1 day ago, meaning she knowingly kept the comment up longer. You
Oh,
can see a whole comment section here. Go, girl. Amongst that, white girls will always be better looking. You're so cute. I see the potential. You can also see that in this, she's not replying to every single comment, and people are replying to this comment, meaning that maybe she should have actually looked at the replies to see what it was. This other one just shows the rest of the comment section. So in my humble opinion, it would be very, very difficult to fake something like this. Why would somebody fake 3 separate screenshots to set you up? Maybe you thought that people didn't like you. I think that while we can't say for
Yeah, I said what I said before that. Extra context.
or 100% certain whether or not she saw the comment, I do think it sets up kind of this enabling attitude that she has towards racism. Instead of saying, hey, maybe I didn't do my due diligence and actually look through the comments that I was liking, she has to deflect, deny, even despite the blatant evidence that we see in front of us. Now, in addition to that, I do have to introduce a very grating, annoying concept that is going to be kind of seen over and over again in this situation, and that's people instantly rushing to her defense, instantly giving her the benefit of the doubt.
Exposed for being a white nationalist and had done blackface.
So I was looking through TikTok and I came across that video, and I just thought to myself when I was watching it, yeah, that doesn't feel right. She gives no examples. Why that? So I had to go and look for the examples. She seems to have got this from, goddamn it, Know Your Meme as a source. Get ready for the most overblown bullshit you've ever heard, because it's clearly just fucking girl bitchiness. Because I'm sorry, we don't need this much like information about this one girl. The only thing I can generally find that she may have done wrong is do this weird angel thing where she painted her like this. I mean, very ill-advised. The original person who called this out fucking looks like a clown anyway, so I mean, ill-advised.
So, hi. If you don't know, clowns are just caricatures of black men. The afros, the big nose, the big feet. This just looks like a 5-year-old just paint splattered on her face, and it's like giving me Five Nights at Freddy's jester realness. I don't know what a jester is. I don't know if that's clown adjacent still, and still racist, probably. But no, the other shit was way closer to racism than this. This just looks like she got hypothermia and a little bruised eyes a little bit. I don't know. It looks a mess. I don't like it. But no, is this Chica? Is she Chica? What is happening?
I mean, what is this? The allegations are saying that she is...
Mind you, it looks way better than anything I could put on my fucking face.
Or for liking these posts saying...
Did you see the makeup I performed with last year in September? Hot mess.
White girls are always
looking like the Tin
Man. Like that. But if you actually like go to like read the thing, the original poster is currently
I'm not reading that.
So we can't even find the source of where these...
Slow at. Shut up.
Real deep investigation. I feel like this account's whole thing is just anti-wokeness, and y'all are fooled because they did a real deep investigation. Meanwhile, the real investigation that they did, they couldn't even discover the actual real documented source. The stories that I looked through and just showed you those screenshots from, those are still publicly up on Alessandra's account. Like, this is not secret information. All you have to do is do maybe just a little bit more research about what you're talking about before you instantly defend racists.
The cadence of his voice is like a hiccup. It just irritates me. I could not sit
Could this
through
be
that. No.
ignorance or her not knowing? Absolutely, but the impact is all the same. And I feel like these comment sections have become a devious duo of white people who are all too ready to excuse or ignore racism, and from black people who are maybe too traumatized or just tired of experiencing so much racism that they're ready to just put on the blinders to pretend what they see isn't there. Like that video alluded to and kind of discussed a little bit, the next thing we're going to be talking about is the blackface allegations. And before we even get to it, I'm just going to say, guys, hold your comments before you get through this, please, because a lot of people have very strong opinions on whether or not this is blackface, whether or not this is problematic. So Alana posted this.
I was questioning that bird video I just watched if it was fucking problematic, because it was a white man, pitch black. Yes, he's a bird, but...
Video, and I've heard different things of what people said it was. I couldn't find the original video, obviously, because Alana has deleted it following the backlash and actually launched her own apology, but I've heard it could have been her depiction of a biblically accurate angel or a crow. Crow makes more sense to me, but crow also has some additional connotations that we got to get into and discuss. So I could see this giving crow, I guess, given the feathers, but to the people defending her, I do have to ask, does this give, you know, fully crow? Where was the beak? Where was anything else? Why would a crow have red eyes? Like, I don't know. To me, this looks like the only thing that this could be is maybe Jim Crow.
Yeah, she looks like the fucking Babadook. Like, she looks like the depiction... Never mind.
If you will. I've talked at length a lot about what minstrelsy is, to the point that I'm kind of tired of talking about it over and over again, but people wearing blackface often paint their lips red in an act to mock black people, and that history is very strong and deep. Now, one of the reasons that I said crow has deep connotations here is Jim Crow, song and dance from 1828 that was often done in blackface by a minstrel performer. And Jim Crow as a character was actually a theater character, but it came to have different connotations as Jim Crow laws would come about. Those are literally laws, the laws that you hear about famously, the laws prohibiting black people from using the same water fountains, entering the same facilities, denying them equal access to things. And that's why I have such an issue with the concept of trying to mock black people, because it actually has deep resonating effects. The fact that we were denied services, denied opportunities, because they were mocking us and associating us with stereotypes that we're not intelligent, that we're not smart.
It is so crazy. Like, it's hard to wrap my head around. Like, I'm in a post-slavery, no, I'm a post-plantation United States Black American slavery. This is such a weird time to be in. Like, every time is a weird time to be in, but I, what the fuck? Like, black people were slaves. Like, my mom, my fucking mother experienced the tail end of segregation. I mean, she was like, I don't know, she was born when segregation ended. So yeah, the tail end of it. She was, 60s, 70s, and yeah, so but my grandma experienced segregation. So that my grandma experienced segregation.
That we're not equals to you. These depictions of blackface, these depictions of people mocking black people
My
actually have a
grandma.
real measured effect, actually reinforce negative and racist stereotypes. So I'm very sorry, Becky, if you have to tread very carefully when you want to wear black face paint for some reason, which is like why I'm not trying to stifle the creativity of people very carefully when you want to wear black face paint for some reason. Which is like why I'm not trying to stifle the creativity of people at all, but it's like that is low.
Yes, you should stifle the creative. This isn't create. Come on, I hate when people are trying to be fake nice. Nigga, please. This isn't creative at all. It's you look stupid as fuck. No, no,
Low-key an
no.
odd color to try to paint yourself, to try to, you know what I mean? Like, I'm all for artistic expression, but if you as a white person cannot think about
This is not artistic.
the reason why
This isn't expressive.
black people might be slightly opposed to you painting your face black in any way, shape, or form, maybe you need to open a history book. Maybe you need to actually talk to some black people in your lives. And listen, we're
So I'm not crazy for thinking that bird video I just watched is kind of weird, more than kind of weird. Okay.
not all a monolith. A lot of people have differing opinions about this, but I do think the excusal of what, in my opinion, is at least slightly racist, or could have those same racist impacts, or could end up reinforcing that same racism, I don't really like that. And the public is very split about this. There's been a lot of discourse, a lot of what, in my opinion, is excusal regarding whether or not this counts as blackface. Cosplay is not blackface, but everything else is racist. That's not blackface. She's definitely racist, though. She's racist, but that isn't blackface. Blackface isn't just painting your face black. It's doing so to mock another race. And then you have this discourse. Why are people using her political beliefs to justify a reason to hate her? Just say you think she's annoying or different.
So there was a point in time where they didn't get actual black actors just to limit black people's opportunities. So they painted white people and let them act as black people in the movie. So those roles, you can try to argue, you can't argue actually. I'm not going to sit here and play. You can't argue. This is racist. This is blackfaced. Hello, hello. Why does the context need to be inherently fucking making fun of black people? That white girl that was originally Dorothy, I'm pretty sure she was one of the white people that did blackface just to be a black woman. And I don't know what the role consisted of. I don't know if she was like a mammy, a slave or something. I don't know what the fuck she was, but I just know she did it. And I know she had some Cynthia hair.
It's because those political beliefs actually have real life impacts. In my other video where we discussed James Atlas, another racist person online, we talked about how he's literally supporting what was happening in northern Dublin, a real impact caused by anti-immigrant rhetoric, anti-black rhetoric, just racist rhetoric in general. People were literally afraid to leave their homes. Fire bombings were happening. People were rioting in the streets looking for black people or brown people to target. Y'all don't realize that this actually has real life impacts on people. And I'm really tired of the society that we live in acting like being racist is some sort of political belief that we have to respect, that we have to give the same dignity of people who are debating things like solar panel funding. Like, no, those are two entirely different things. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like someone debating your identity is so debasing, so annoying, so irritating. I'm just tired of it, okay? One thing that's not clicking to people, regardless, is that blackface, racism, stereotypes don't only cause harm if the intention is negative. There's really no way to determine the intention of a person, so that's also really
Right.
just a cop-out kind of excuse. To me, what the barometer is, like I've discussed earlier, is the harm that it perpetuates or causes to the people community, and what the people in the community affected by those things actually have to say about it. Obviously, this gets difficult because, like I said, black people, we have differing opinions about things. We're not just one hive mind, right? So, I personally
Right, but a vast majority of black people would tell you that this is blackface. She's on bullshit and is racist as fuck. She looks a hot ass mess. No,
think it is a little
one thing about black people, we are still sort of a hive mind. I'm sorry to say this might be controversial, but no, we're not a monolith. But black experience is so interconnected. I can't help but to feel like there's something deeper with being black than what the world is telling us. I mark my fucking words. When the archaeologists find some shit to the human link that really started all this race war shit and these social constructs, bitch, mark my words. We're not from here. We're not from here.
racist. I think it is
We came from a comet. Cause sugar and ice and water is just out floating in space, dead ass. Look it up. There's just ice and sugar on comets and RNA and DNA and comets and shit. Okay, they found the building blocks of humans already just in space, just floating out there. Okay, so girl,
very similar to racist stereotypes in a way. It looks similar. Why would you dress yourself up like this? I don't like it, especially given what we're about to see, a lot of the other TikToks. In addition to
looking
that,
like
I've literally
Doja Cat from Demons.
seen her on Instagram stories, like reposting this video like it's a funny joke. She even herself
They should have got her ass to do some push-ups in the back of that music
apologized
video.
for it, so I don't understand why people online are trying to, I guess, take back her apology for her. Like, no, boo, she apologized for doing this cosplay.
No, boo.
But yeah, racism isn't often blatant or intentional. I can't tell you how many times I've had people be casually racist to me or other black people around
Or Mexican. Just at work. Hey, nigga, you see what that nigga just did? Nigga, you heard that nigga. And then I turned to him and I said, why did you think that was okay to say to me? And he was like, what? What'd I say? I said, watch your mouth. Don't talk to me like that. Don't. Who are you talking to, dude? He was like, oh my bad, oh my bad. And I just turned around. Who the fuck are you
me
talking
without
to?
probably even meaning to be degrading, with them probably even having good intentions, but they did things that made me extremely uncomfortable. I don't have a machine that allows me to see the races of people commenting this stuff, but I bet a pretty sizable amount of people who are commenting on this are white. I'll just say this, if you don't know what you're talking about, if you're not a part of the community, maybe like temper your thought with saying, hey, I don't know about this, but XYZ, like, why are we entering discourse conversation about this when we're not directly impacted by it, low-key? Like, it's actually harmful for us to be instantly excusing this stuff. Why do you give so much benefit of the doubt to people who are potentially racist and no benefit of the doubt to the black people who are calling this out? There were even videos where, like, I saw a black woman talking about this stuff. The whole comments were talking about, oh, no, it's not racist, it's not blackface. Like, no, girl, it's very weird. Y'all are not seeing the formula here, right? Y'all are not seeing how much denial you're willing to give to a person.
You know, the people that are denying is blackface probably aren't even fucking black.
Some of y'all are so gullible or so
And they're posing as black people on the internet.
willing to ignore racism that you refuse to see it when it's right in front of your face. Chapter 3, the stories. So let's actually get into what I think is the real meat and potatoes of this entire situation. So one of the first stories that I saw was this one basically alleging that Alana was not only racist, but also a white nationalist. This is Alana, or as I like to call her, Miss Blackface. Someone said, I feel like it's the red lips that makes it seem weird. I hate to break it to you, but my natural lip color happens to be red. Yeah, no, it's definitely not the same red as this. She's a grifter who asked people to draw free art of her, then partnered with Meta AI, which I have no doubt the fan art that was done of her was fed to. Alessandra also says this, she's also a European white nationalist, Zionist, anti-immigration, propaganda peddling POS, and I want to emphasize that while many of these likes have been taken and many of these likes have been revoked, or I wasn't able to see them personally, I have seen multiple videos liked by her because I had to follow her for this experiment. I followed her, looked for these same exact videos by finding keywords, and I did find that she actually liked and engaged with a lot of this content, even after being called out. Some of these likes are still on these posts. Here's one of the reels, which I think is really odd, weird, and disgusting. These are refugees. These are not refugees. The only visible difference I see between these two groups of people is that one of those groups are white people, and one of those other groups consists of people who are black and brown. I couldn't find this exact reel, but I did find this creator, and it seems like he does this type of rage bait / we're having a discussion type of content. This is just very much centrist pandering slop, which in my opinion sets a really great environment for these racists, these bigots to exist, while simultaneously feeling like they're promoting a conversation or having some sort of importance.
Racism is a disease that makes you brain dead. None of these people can think because they can't think.
Societal debate. Like, regardless of what you say in the caption or in the comments, it's really weird for you to use a racist image like this that straight up shows bias, shows immigrants who are darker than an acceptable skin color to you guys are suddenly the bad guys, and suddenly we can't understand why these people would possibly want to immigrate and seek a better life somewhere else. This is one of the things that really gets me, right? Immigration is often a last resort. People aren't just jumping at the bit to leave everything they know behind, to leave their country, their family, their friends, their language that they know oftentimes, the culture that they know. And these racists expect them not only to go through years of lengthy legal processes when many people who are immigrating to a different country are doing so out of safety concerns. Alana is sitting here talking about, I'm anti-immigration, right? And it's like, girl, you're literally from Australia. Do you know your people aren't from Australia? Do you know that there was a group of native people, that there were Aboriginals who were there before you were there? There were First Nation peoples who were there before you were there. And y'all came over there literally across the world, took their shit and massacred them. Like, do you not know that? Or are we just ignoring that history because it's not really convenient to your own political views?
Yeah, I was being stupid. I wasn't actually gonna call her an Aboriginal. I was saying I was gonna call her that because she doesn't want to be black, but she does black things. So I thought I'm weird. I'm not funny. I'm ready to turn this off actually.
Now, unfortunately, there's even more racism for us to get into, so let's just go rapid fire. First, we have this weird Save Europe bullshit TikTok. This is what they stole from you, and it's just white people, I guess, standing
They
outside.
stole everything. The basis of white culture is thievery
Being happy. I'm sure that totally doesn't happen in the UK
and
anymore.
cannibalism.
Because I guess there's, slightly more people of color in the UK, a country that is still overwhelmingly and predominantly white and Christian. Like, y'all are literally panicking over something that is not even really happening. The only real place in the UK that I can think of that might be changing and having shifting demographics is London, which is a massive international city that many people from around the world would likely want to move to. That kind of makes sense to me. It would be like New York being like, there's too much diversity in New York. So it's like, yeah, people are going to go there because it's a global financial center. Hello? It's very sad that this page that she's kind of liking this post from will also post very disgusting things about things like, for example, this pro-Palestinian protest to try to fearmonger. And the comments on this video, I think, really just prove the type of people who watch this slop. They're testing you. Fight for your country and churches before they erase you. This is just racist and disgusting, trying to say that Muslim people don't belong anywhere except caves. It's disgusting. You get what you tolerate. Clean your house, Finland. And it's this guy named Ricardo. I just can't stand when people of color are actually supporting this mess. It's like, they don't like you either, right? These racists. A lot of them probably see you as another person who's not white enough for them. Like, why would you engage with this type of content? Now, this next video I saw myself, and it's just really odd.
It's crazy. White people are racist to other white people too. So it's like, it's never ending. It's never ending. God.
Video trying to say that people are walking pigs to protect themselves with the racist insinuation that people are doing this specifically
I eat the damn
against Muslim
pig.
people. And it's like, do you know that Islam isn't the only religion that forbids people from eating pork? Have y'all heard of Judaism? Like, it's not just a Muslim thing for people not to like.
Fuck, I shouldn't have said that as soon as you said that, damn it. You see, look, like, cancel me by yesterday. Because I didn't need to say that, and then we're talking about halal.
Pork, or not to want to eat pigs or see them as unclean. And yeah, another thing is that this reel probably isn't actually referring to a woman trying to protect herself by using this pig. It might just be somebody's pet. Here's some fact checking that I found that was done about this that really just kind of proves that a lot of these posts are just made up.
Razor bumps? Get a shave with a touch of aloe. Venus Extra Smooth Sensitive.
My name is Ty. My proudest financial accomplishment is retiring by the time I got to 40. When the layoff did happen, it was a blessing.
Really walking pigs on leashes to avoid harassment by Muslim men? That's what several viral videos on social media claim. Take this one for example. A 13-second clip shows a woman strolling through the streets with a pig on a leash, calling it Dior. The caption pretty straightforward. It implies that the pig is being used as protection against Muslim refugees. But here's the truth. Dior isn't part of any anti-Muslim strategy. He's actually a well-known pet pig from Rome, Italy, often spotted walking alongside his owner with no connection to any protest or political statement. Europe is indeed facing a major...
Even sweet things like people owning pigs as a cute pet are being morphed and twisted into these people with disgusting racist aims. But believe it or not, we're not actually done because they're even...
How is that supposed to deter Muslim people? You think just because they can't eat a pig, they can't touch the pig, see the pig, look at the pig, admire the pig? It's a pig. It's an animal. They just can't eat it.
Or racist
Dumbass.
reels that she decided to put her stamp on. Here is a reel trying to say that children in Gaza are doing propaganda by showing that they're starving, showing that they're hungry, showing that they're suffering under Israeli bombardment. I get, like, it's just disgusting, and the name of this account being a Nazi dog whistle is not that shocking to me. In my opinion, there's a
I'm
real
tired.
connection between racism and supporting the atrocities that Israel is committing in Gaza. There's a level of dissonance that you have to engage in, a level of dismissal, a level of ignorance, to ignore what you're seeing in front of your face, to try to make all these narratives about, oh, you know, these people are just acting, these people actually aren't suffering. And it's like, are you okay? Like, what type of conspiracy are you engaging in to accept these atrocities, bro? And the sad thing is that these children aren't valid in their suffering to Alana because I guess they're not white enough for her. It's just disgusting, but sadly not that shocking given her history of liking and supporting Islamophobic content. And if you thought that was all, I have bad news for you because there's literally even more. Here we have another one. Let's normalize spreading our Western/European culture. This one's a little bit more tame, but I guess the undertones is like, okay, why are we trying to do this? Why is it perfectly fine to say that Asians have a higher average IQ than Caucasians, but saying that Caucasians have a higher IQ than Africans is considered a hate crime? Did you know that white people are actually not really Caucasian? Like, there's actually a group of people from the Caucasus Mountains who are like, why are y'all associating yourselves with us? Please. We have more Islamophobic content. POV, you visited Sydney in 2050. Again, liked by Alana. Imagine protesting in a country you broke into illegally with flags from a country.
Is it a stretch to say that I feel like Cat Williams popularized calling white people Caucasian? Is that a stretch? Because I only know what Caucasian is because of Cat Williams from the mountain of Caucasus. Like,
to live in, like by Alana, like by Alana. I just want to show all these like by Alana. It's setting up a very weird and interesting puzzle from which Alana is founding her political beliefs, from which Alana is getting her political views. This is something that I think is happening to a lot of people falling down a right-wing pipeline, believing and having these fears about maybe people who look different than you. And I mentioned Alana being from a rural area earlier because as someone who lived in, I guess, it was suburbia, but it was almost rural, it was almost more country. I feel like a lot of people who don't interact and engage with people who aren't like them, who don't see what other cultures are like, they end up having this big fear about places like cities, that they're just these mosh pits of crime, that everything is horrible in these cities because immigrants live there. And it's like, even in places like Australia, right? In the cities, there's much more diversity, much more opportunity to meet people from different cultures. And I think one of the more interesting things about, you know, this really big rise in anti-immigration rhetoric that we've seen in a lot of Europe, a lot of North America, a lot of places that have really been part of the imperial core. I know I got a level too far, but listen, is it not the ultimate karma for these countries who often invaded others based on their racist beliefs of superiority, colonized places, exploited their resources, took their land, took the opportunity of the people living there to be able to build something on their own, solely forcing them to work to enrich the colonial core? Isn't it interesting, and doesn't it just make sense that people who are in those formerly colonized nations
Smoke break. Yes, in the middle of the video, I'm a bad bitch. Should have paused the video, but it's fine. I'm gonna be done anyways. How much of this do I have to suffer through? Less than 10 minutes? About 6. I just recently ate ass and I feel great.
nations, or just nations that were exploited by these colonial powers, would eventually want to move to these colonial powers who still are very much enriched by that past history of colonization and imperialism. Like, it makes sense. Why are we acting shocked? Why are we acting new? It's also just interesting that immigrants are being tied to
Not just now. I took a smoke break, but I'm talking about Sunday.
when it's like, no, it's a lot of people who are actually from there. In addition to this, I feel like a lot of these people have this idea that if you don't look a certain way that you can't be from a place. A lot of the times they'll do this in Europe, and it's like, yeah, no, a lot of the people on the French team, right, may look black, but you know why? It's because France had its hand meddling around in Africa trying to take our stuff. Yeah, of course the descendants of the Africans who were forced to work for France, were forced to basically enrich France. Yeah, maybe their descendants would move to France to try to find more opportunity for themselves, to live in a place that maybe has more of those like opportunities for advancement and wealth. Now, I think that overall here, we've got a very clear picture of the type of content that she's decided to engross herself in, that she's decided to buy into. But I wanted to end this horrific saga by showing you one and last video that I myself was able to see her like, because this video is just wild to me.
The reason why people don't eat with your hands is because your food is not delicious.
Is it because the food's not delicious, or is it because we're civilized? I'm angry because it's like,
Nigga, you eat chicken wings and pizza with your dirty ass booty fingers. Shut the fuck up, fuck ass nigga. She also was doing too much in the video. You didn't have to stick your whole hand in your mouth, you know, but you know, the reaction was way more than the video.
this person
Shut
trying to
the
say that
fuck
you're
up.
uncivilized if you eat with your hands, and it's like, yeah, white people totally don't eat with their hands at all. There's nothing like pizza, sandwiches, like none of that exists at all. Burgers, none of that is real. We
A
all
burger.
eat everything with our silverware, I guess. Totally not racist at all.
Like a cookie, a muffin. What's civilized about eating a muffin? Because that's crummy. gooey, chewy, bready, like
all. So obviously Alana has to address all of this, right? So one of the first things that she did, which was so odd to me, was try to DM the poster of the story. I'm willing to have an open and respectful discussion if you are. Then when confronted, she goes on to basically repeat those same lies about immigrants and try to defend basically being racist. Alessandra says, I'm a big fan of your work, but I had to unfollow. I'm really disappointed at seeing that you've liked posts of Zionist propaganda denying the suffering of Palestinians under Zionism, as well as you willingly avoiding the topic on your page to avoid losing support from your followers. There's nothing artistic, special, or groundbreaking about denying a genocide and falling for cheap propaganda. At the rise of fascism in the world, shame on yourself. Here's what she had to say. No denial about the topic, that quarrel in a faraway country between people of whom we know nothing. I do not want to promote or deny children are dying on both sides of the war. What I will stand behind and not tolerate is the mass immigration, leveraging from the war to invade European countries and then be illegally housed and fed from taxpayer dollars to then claim benefits and stay in the country. The R reports have skyrocketed. The amount of bombings is ridiculous. The state of Europe is in decline. I suppose I would side with nationalism. Do you have the reals you speak up to sin? Then she tries to say the following. Everyone is entitled to their own beliefs, of course, and I can see your passion with this topic. It's
while that is true, some immigrants are coming over here and assaulting Americans. It's some. Girl, can we not think outside of ourselves and think about where they're coming from and why they're coming here? Yeah, they're milking us. Yeah. And they're getting things before people who are already here can. And you're paying for it. I'm paying for it. My mom's paying for it. What does that have to do with you being racist? What does that have to do with you disliking these people just because they're black, Mexican, and anything but white? What does that have to do with anything? Because that's a completely different economical issue. Racism is a plague and it's psychological. Girl, you're deviating from the bigger image with them puffy ass cheeks you got.
It's an amazing quality to have. I do not deny my beliefs and where I stand, but I hope some insight to the correct belief of mine can now be seen as better educated. It's really, it actually is, because you stand on this, you are actually a racist. I'm sorry. You're actually denying genocide. I'm sorry. Like, thank you for letting us know that you are actually not really a great human being. Thanks for confirming that. And like I was saying earlier, I feel like there's really been this tacit,
deport her ass to Russia.
Concept of immigrants moving to a country and getting benefits, that actually makes sense to me because one, oftentimes European countries have way bigger social safety nets than American countries. I'm from America, so you get here, they don't really give you anything. They don't really help you at all. The only time we really get help from the government is after we're 65. And I think that retirement age is actually increasing because people can't afford it. So we're not really getting help. In European countries, I think it's appropriate for, immigrants to get some sort of social safety nets. Would you rather have immigrants on the street alone, unable to help or provide for themselves or do anything for society? Or would you rather have immigrants be housed, be fed, be able to take care of those basic needs and, actually work, actually do something in their new country, right? I don't get her idea that like these people are just
let's think about the people that are coming here and actually helping progress our society. The scientists, the mathematics, the artists. That's what I think about. Let them in. I mean, yeah, we all need help, but I'm sorry, that's probably controversial, and I probably shouldn't say that. I don't know why, but let him in. let's feed everybody. Shit, you get a burger, I get a burger. Yeah, or wait, can they eat? Because some immigrants are religious, so like I don't. Does every culture have a burger? A burger adjacent?
Coming and doing nothing. It's like, no, they're bringing their culture, they're working to live, often not really making that much because some of those skills don't transfer. Maybe their degree didn't transfer. You know what I mean? Like, it's so hard to immigrate to a place.
I want a mushroom black bean burger with a flour yogurt concocted bun with cheese in the middle, or like a potato pancake with cheese in the middle as the buns. I'm gonna make that and see how it tastes.
Things that people hiding from war.
You think arugula gonna taste good in that? I hate the taste of arugula. Arugula stank and it tastes like plastic leaf. Oh, it's so disgusting.
Or should have to basically pick themselves up
Don't
by the
get
bootstraps
arugula.
when they get into a new country after surviving atrocities. That doesn't make sense. Now, I just wanted to get into a few final thoughts because I feel like this has gone on for long enough. I'm very much tired of talking about Alana. So we all know about the AI post at this point, the meta sponsorship, but I don't think we understand the depth of her betrayal because not only would she really revel in the intention of being drawn, having people take the time to draw her, but then turn her back and say stuff about this when she's called out about the AI, profited off of hundreds of artists drawing you, and then promoted the very thing that threatens them. The world works jobs they don't like. What? How does this even make sense at all? Basically, that person says, bye, you're making yourself look worse, now go ahead and keep talking. Did not see a single cent of this profit. I was the one promoting already established small art businesses, and it was mutual publicly. Yeah, because people posting art of you on their own pages
Publicity,
totally
brother.
wouldn't help increase your platform. Like, you definitely benefited from this, and trying to deny that and ignore the contributions that artists had to your career is insane. It's just so out of touch, and I just think that Alana is one of those people.
You're out of touch. I'm out of time. I'm out of my head. Yeah.
Who is just going to use her audience for her own means. I've seen this time and time again in her like asking her audience to get casted in a medieval drama, which one, I know it's just cringe. It's not really maybe that
Sorry.
deep. There's a certain acceptable
Stop
amount of that,
looking
right?
over there.
People making
Look over
Patreons,
here.
people making paid content. That's different from like smoozing off of your audience constantly, and then when your audience gets mad at you for something validly, you try to turn it against them, you try to ignore their concerns. Like, that's what's making me upset, and I think that's what's making a lot of people online upset about this AI stuff. The next thing I wanted to talk about is, I guess, the lookism. A lot of people have been using this as an excuse to just really be awful to her, which is really unfair to her, and also people who maybe look like her. It goes back to my hater video on the internet.
I said this, yes, I'm being disgusting as well. Yes, people who look like her are indirectly getting hit. I understand that. Sorry, but I'm despicable and I'm not a perfect human being. I'm showing you who I am, believe it. No, I don't give a fuck anymore. She's racist, she's funky, despicable. I'm very selective on who I'm nice to and how I carry myself. This is all deliberate. Yes, I am only doing this because she did what she did. Had she not done this, I would have kept all this inside, or I probably wouldn't even thought too much hard on what the fuck to say about her. But since she did, I'm talking my shit. Does that make me a hater? Probably, yeah. Will I give a fuck about her when I turn this camera off? Most likely not. Will the people on the internet? Yeah. 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 Good thing nobody watches me, though.
And I just feel like people are very satisfied at knowing that someone's terrible and then being terrible back to them. It's just this endless cycle of conflict. I watched this really interesting video by Tiffany Ferg about trial by internet and how oftentimes things are really lost in the sauce online. How things just become these big, massive ordeals, these massive indictments against a person. And in this case, I do think there is quite a bit of evidence to show that Alana is a racist and should be deplatformed for that, should be ignored for that. If you're a person who doesn't
I'm glad you confidently stand in deplatforming.
support racism, don't interact with her page, don't follow her, don't get.
Some YouTubers don't be like, oh my god, I don't want to say it, but I think we should deplatform. Like, it, girl.
For like, trust, I only followed her because I was doing
This is a
research, but it's also
privilege.
hard, right? It's like, I don't want to give this person attention, but I also think that the things they're doing are very harmful, so I want to call them out. It's that paradox, I think, that really exists online. I don't really have any easy answers for that, right? It's complicated. So what did we learn today, class? That Alana is low-key a racist mess, and we shouldn't watch her. We should ignore her content. Also, please stop giving racists more benefit of the doubt than you do to black people who are calling out said racism. Thank you. That's all from me. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you all next time. Bye, everybody.
Oh my god. I apologize if you do look like her and I offended you with my vocabulary I used in this video. And I'm not gonna sit here and make anybody understand anything about me. Use this to judge my character. Don't give a goddamn of a fuck. She can eat a dick. She sucks. I suck for acting like this on the internet because this is counterintuitive. But you know, racism will go on. Okay, so just surround yourself with like-minded people. Not like this hoe. I forgot my point earlier. I don't surround myself in political people on purpose. I stay informed. And I read as much as I do for as long as I do, and then I move on with my life, and I live as much life as I can with what I have while I have it. Like, people on the internet want to make you feel bad for unfortunately being privileged because we're all dealt unequal cards. Of course you don't have to come online and show everybody how privileged you are and how much you don't have to think about things, but you know, at the end of the day, we're all affected to this to some degree, you know. So I'm not friends with Republican people. Would never. No. No. There's just a pattern, and I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. No. I'm not gonna sit here and entertain politics. No. Of either side, Democrat, Republic, I don't give a fuck. The fact that that's a concept, the lesser of two evils. Video ends here.